So going away from being a mom
Yes.
and going more towards business,
Yes.
specifically your business, Great Brook Leadership. What is Great Brook Leadership?
So, when I left being a full-time employee to being a consultant, a friend of mine he had hired me for my first small company biotech job, he had already gone off on his own into consulting, and he had created a website called Great Brook Biotech, where he was inviting anyone who was working independently to use that as their company name. And so I did things under the name Great Brook Biotech, which still exists. Now, the reason it's called Great Brook, which is really hard to pronounce for a business name, any marketing person would tell you, oh my goodness, do not. Great Brook Biotech, I congratulate you for saying it well, because it's not easy. Jason and I both live near Great Brook Farm State Park, and we love it. And that's how the name came up. So it was Great Brook Biotech was a holding company for anybody who was working in the biotech industry who was not a scientist. So a number of us, there were finance people. And in fact, we did have one scientist join us too. If you just needed a place to land, we didn't have employees or anything like that, but it was a place where you could list your services at Great Brook Biotech. My services began to be so very specific, especially around workshop delivery, and then people had to buy product from me, the handouts and things that go with workshop delivery. I was not comfortable telling them just pay more us know, because Great Brook Biotech had no way to pay individuals. So I created Great Brook Leadership as my spin-off from there, and created it as a true financial entity so that it could receive payments in and out, and I got it its own tax number. And so now with Great Brook Leadership, while I don't have employees, I have people who do workshops, who bill me for their time doing workshops. People like Tanya, who does various outreach and invoices for her time. If you look on my website, you see the names of people doing various pieces of work for me. And I just needed a standalone financial entity. But Great Brook Leadership is all about providing people with the skills to have a workforce, much like Carol and I were talking about in the days of the craps games. She was teaching quality principles for manufacturing, but it's how you do it, and that's where the human resources piece comes in. So it's the manner in which you interact while creating the very best product that's also important. And that's what Great Brook Leadership is about, how we interact in the workplace.
Hi, I hope you liked that excerpt from the Great Brook Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss a new upload.